today we are still on quadratic expansion, but what we're doing is we are looking at a special case when you have more or less the same terms in both brackets. Not exactly the same terms in both brackets, but where you have one having a plus in the middle, and the other one having a minus in the middle. So have a look at this here and let's see what happens. So you look and you see that the terms inside are almost identical, but the difference is that one has plus in the middle and the other one has minus in the middle. So let's see what happens and let's see whether we can spot a pattern, because if you do, you can make your life very easy when you solve these. So here, let's solve this first. So we have 2x, and then we keep our second one exactly how it is. And then, like we know we already do, we have up 1 here, and we put the second term exactly how it is. I just want you to notice that I can erase this 1 because the plus will do its work, but I can equally write it, whichever one, the answer will be the same. So let me just make sure that my pen is selected. Yes, it is. So 2x times 2x will give us 4x squared, and then 2x times -1 will give us -2x, and then 1 times 2x will give us plus 2x, and then 1 times 1 will give us -1. And so then when we simplify, we get 4x squared. -2x plus 2x will cancel each other out, and we have -1. So that's what we get here. And it's too early to talk about a pattern, but let's do another example, and then you might spot a pattern here. So let's take another example. Let's do it like this. 4m plus 3 in our first bracket, and 4m minus 3 in our second bracket. And what we're saying here is that terms are identical, only that the sign in the middle are opposite. One is plus, one is minus. So we're going to have 4m bracket 4m minus 3 plus 3 bracket 4m minus 3. Hope you all get that. So 4m times 4m will give us 16m squared. That makes it a quadratic expansion, right? Because we have our highest power being squared. And then we're going to take away 12m, and then we have plus 12m, and then we have minus 9. So then when we simplify, we're going to have 16m squared. They will cancel each other out, because -12m plus 12m will give us nothing, minus 9. So look at these two. Let's see whether you can spot a pattern. You might want to pause the video for a moment and see whether you can spot the pattern. Well, if you did pause the video and you had a look, you might have noticed that we could have just multiplied these two together to get our 4x squared, and we could have just multiplied these two together to get our -1. Similarly here, we could have just multiplied these two together to get our 16m squared, and we could have just as well multiplied these two together to get our -9. So have a look at that carefully. The first two together will give you the first term in your answer, and the other two together will give you the second one when the two brackets are identical except for the middle sign. So make sure you remember that, because it will give you a shortcut in expanding these and later on solving these quadratic equations and these quadratic expressions.